Hello. And I'm never really sure what's going to happen when I go live on these things. Um, I've labeled this video Learning to Trust because that is really the thing that I have been learning myself, um, really like my whole life, right? And especially since I started, hey, Mary Ellen, uh, learning to trust is something that I've been trying to learn really like my whole life. And it has not been an easy road. Uh, a lot of it was because I couldn't really trust, like my parents. I couldn't really trust, like neighbors. I really couldn't trust, like authority figures in general. It really wasn't easy. And, hey, Debbie Marie, hola. Um, so when I started on this path about being psychic, being a medium, um, I really wasn't I really wasn't planning on doing this. Hey, Suzanne Paxton, like I haven't seen you in 100 years. Um, it's really good to see you on there. Um, I wasn't really sure. I didn't know that you were following me on here, and I didn't know that I had your, like a way of contacting you. But I have thought about you, like off and on, wondering what's going on with you, stuff like that. Um, so it's good to see you there. So there's that. Um, anyway, um, so I've been doing this psychic business for like 30 years now, close to 30 years, like 28, 29. And this was not really what I was planning on doing with my life. And it just sort of started. And and so it's really one of the biggest things that I've had to learn how to trust is trust the messages that spirit gives me, trust the um, because I really didn't know what it was all about. I mean, I have had an idea, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Um, like when I was growing up, my aunt was a psychic, and she read cards, she did astrology, she did all of that, and she was trying to teach us how to do uh, see auras, read auras, like when I was like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, stuff like that. And I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to open my third eye, stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't really know how to do. But she did teach us how to do, well, she taught me how to do like psychic healing back then. And that was like easy for me. I kind of like took to that. And so I knew from an early age that I did come to the planet to be a healer and and all of that. But when I turned like 29, which is like 28, 29 is your Saturn return. And so it's all about like life, death, rebirth, all of that. And it's about like one part of your life ending, a new part coming into being. Um, so I'm doing this on my iPad, but I'm also recording this on my phone so that I can. Um, I want to upload this to my YouTube channel, and that has been difficult in the past. My YouTube channel is Edward13R. In case you want to subscribe to that, I have a couple of videos up there now, but you know, I want to start things so that more people can watch and stuff like that. So anyway, there is that. um, anyway, one of the things that I've learned in this whole process is that getting information from spirit, I do dream interpretation, Mary Ellen. I can do a reading for you at some point about that. Um, so that is an option as well. So when you're doing like psychic readings and stuff or getting psychic impression, the first thing that you have to do is allow the first thing to come out. um, it's like, because everything is coming in a pipeline, and if you don't trust the first thing, then they're not going to give you the second thing, right? And so Spirit has been on me recently. Well, if you've seen other videos, it's been going on for a little while now that the Spirit has been wanting me to come on here to go live, whatever. And then I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know what's going to be said. I don't know. And the the message around all of that is that it doesn't matter. Right? It's like, just show up. Um, like there is an expression that says that if God brings you to it, then God will bring you through it. So like my job in this process is to trust my guides, to trust the gods of my understanding, and just kind of show up and do whatever the next thing is, right? And so I've been I've been struggling with that lately, and I've been tired a lot and stuff like that, and so it's like I'm not in the mood. I'm never going to do it, whatever. And so, like I said, I get the message again today. So it's like, well, let's like show up and see what's going to happen. And because the first live that I did, I showed up and I started doing an introduction that Spirit was going to come through, that wanted to say the stuff. And then it was like, I was basically kicked out of the way, and Spirit just took over and did what they were going to do and say what they wanted to say. And there was no introduction. And, you know, I don't know, stuff just starts happening. So, um, yeah. So the big thing happening right now is that really, um, not even myself, because I never really know what is going to happen, like I said, right? But um, there has been a thing going on with the whole world, really, I think, is going through a lot of changes in their life right now. And, they can't really see where they're going. Like, in a lot of ways, it's like the future seems like blurry or like vague, or um, it's kind of like if you're somebody like me, right? Um, if you're prone to like, like somebody that like meditates and kind of follows your intuition and stuff like that, and like I rely on that. Like I ask my guides what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, where I'm supposed to be going, like what do you want me to do, stuff like that. And so if I don't have some sort of direction about where it is that I'm going to, then a lot of times I just feel lost. And so what I have come to realize through through meditation, through watching other people's live videos, stuff like that, is that and I even spoke to my teacher about this before, and she has the same thing, in that it's more about a lifting up rather than a going forward, right? So let me explain that. So life is not um, it does not happen on a linear thing. Time is not linear. um, our lives happen more in a spiral, right? So we tend to learn the same lessons over and over again, only they can happen on what I refer to as a different octave, right? So it's like if you're in a lower octave, then things can be, they can be harder to learn. They can be more rough, in a lot of ways. Sometimes like physically rough, stuff like that. But as you're moving forward, you can learn the same lesson because that's what it is that you're trying to learn, like on a karmic level. But if you're being lifted like spiritually, you can have the same lesson, but it's on a higher octave. So it's like, so it may not come at you as like strongly, but it's the same sort of lesson. Like think of it in terms of like I'm trying to learn like trust. I'm trying to learn faith. I'm trying to learn um, how to do like relationships. And it's like, well, are you trying to learn relationships just in terms of like just you know animalistic sex and who do I get with and who not to, whatever. Um, hey, BN, nice to see you here. But then if you get in a relationship with somebody and it's more like monogamous and stuff like that, you still have to learn how to like trust in that relationship, how to have faith in that relationship and stuff like that. And so it's still like learning. And so so that's a different octave, right? And then if you're going higher on that octave plane, then it's like learning how to trust your guides or how to trust like the God of your understanding, whoever it is that you're praying to, right? That's a whole other kind of like relationship. So it can be just as hard to learn how to trust, how to have faith in that kind of a relationship as it is to have this kind of relationship, right? So it's the same thing, it's just a different level. And so there's all this stuff that goes on. And there's an expression that we say like as witches and pagan people, whatever it is you want to call all that. It's like as above, so below. So what happens in spirit happens on the earth plane. What happens on the earth plane can happen here. So it's like it's all the same sort of a thing, and it just depends on where it is that you're at on any given day. And so I've been learning how to do this like trust thing, and it has been a lot about like relationships and stuff like that, and what my path is on the planet. And I think that my path has always been to be a healer, but also about being a teacher. And so it's kind of like, well, what am I here to teach and what am I here to do? And for me, like a teacher is somebody that has something on the inside that they need to give to like other people. And so I don't know. I was looking at something. I need to get this out because it's just something that happened a little bit before I came on here. And somebody was talking about dealing with anger and stuff like that. And like I will tell you that anger, patience is not really like my forte. Like I have so much more patience than I did before, but when I was like 29, when I was younger, um, hey Pam Ryan, uh, when I was younger, I had all kinds of like rage and suicidal like ideation and all that kind of stuff is what they call it in therapy. Like I don't believe in suicide. So because my belief is that if I suicide, then I have to come back and do this all over again. And I believe that whatever it is you came here to do, it's like you have to go through all of that because if you don't, then you're going to have to come back and you're going to be confronted with that same issue all over again. So you may as well do it now and just, um, you know, figure out how to go through it. And so a lot of those lessons have kept coming back at me. And so I was looking at this thing. There's a Facebook page for like it's for people that are healers and stuff like that. And this person was talking about um, dealing with anger and stuff like that. And so this one person was talking about um, it's they're talking about coming across a child that was abused and stuff like that, and that person would become like a warring angel and whatever. And it's like, well, that's all well and good, but there are still like rules on the planet that um you know like you don't want to go to jail, right? It's like let authority figures handle these things and stuff like that. Like I do have a history of abuse and stuff like that on like many different levels. And when I was a kid, it's like, so this is why I wasn't really able to um I'm not really sure how to say that name. Hello. um so I wasn't really sure how to handle any of that. And so like that stuff created like a lot of like anger, a lot of rage in me and stuff. And so I was ready to like suicide when I was like 14, right? And or by the time I was 14 anyway, but because my aunt taught me how to do spiritual healing and stuff like that, before I ever learned about Reiki or anything like that. um so it's like, you know I internalize a lot of that stuff. And it's like, so my path has been a lot about like healing all of that stuff, but it's so that I could also help other people, right? And it's like, I couldn't do anything about my parents. I couldn't do anything about my neighbors. I couldn't do anything about my family. I couldn't do anything about any of these things. And then as an adult, it was like too late. And I didn't, there wasn't enough proof, there wasn't enough people to support me in all of this stuff. And so I've had to learn how to like be able to move forward in these things. And just I was telling this person, it's like, I've had to learn how to forgive. And forgiveness is not really easy, and forgiveness is not for me. It's not for them, rather it is for me, so that I can be able to let go, so that I can be able to heal. And so it's like practicing patience is really like a whole lot of like stuff going on in that like little like word right there. So I did not have a good relationship with like God, goddess, whatever. I did not have a relationship like that. And then like, but in on my path, becoming like psychic, which I think I've been psychic really like my whole life. I just didn't really know what it was that was happening. And so I had to be able to have faith in that energy, in my guides, in the gods that I pray to and stuff like that. And that I was going to be okay, that I was being taken care of, and all of that. I have what I refer to as an 11th hour higher power, which means that like, they usually come in last minute and, kind of help me, whatever. But I think a lot of that also is because I don't allow that help. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I am trusting in the process, then there can be help that comes forward sooner, because it doesn't always come from spirit. Sometimes it comes from other people around me, but I have to be able to trust in those people too. So there is a lot of that stuff going on. So anyway, back to this whole thing going on here about um, where people are at right now. And so I think it's important, and I think that I'm going to do a meditation about this, um, like a guided meditation. I may do a video and then just upload it. Um, it's important to meditate and clear your chakras, and especially like the lower chakras, stuff like that, because the energy of the planet there's like so much like healing that is trying to happen on the planet right now. And so it's like we're really being like lifted to another, really to another level, like spiritually. And it's like I feel like I have gotten to a place where I am really able to let go of like really like so much more drama and stuff like that, so much more like pain, letting go of like people, and um because one of my issues is about like I really am a control freak, right? And so a lot of this stuff is about like letting go of control and how things are going to happen and when things are going to happen and all this kind of stuff. And like I'm not in charge of things, just like kind of show up and do what I'm led to do. you know and so it's like as you're raising your vibration and stuff, it can be kind of tricky because part of this is like trying to remain, like, it's not about remaining grounded, but it is about grounding differently than we have in the past. And like grounding is really important because you don't want to be living in a fantasy land. And so um there's a whole thing that goes on about like being psychic, and really probably more about like life in general too, right? It's about being grounded, and it's about being like centered, and it's about being like shielded. So we want to shield ourselves from, there's a lot of craziness going on in the world these days, and a lot of people not knowing what end is up, and not knowing who to trust in the world, and like which leaders we're going to trust, and like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And it's like, well, it's happening because that's what's happening. you know and like, it's all about, like, I think everything is about karma. And like, the reason that I have this mole on my wrist right here, there's like karma related to that. The reason that I am this man in this body wearing glasses, it's about like, it's karma. And so um like, karma is not just about like negatives, it's also, we have positive, we have negative kind of karma going on. And so if you don't like what's happening in the world right now, it's like, well, you know you're allowed to have that opinion about things, but it's also important not to act out, not to get yourself in trouble over those things too, right? It's like, because if you go out and do something and then you hurt yourself, right, then that's not why this is happening. It's like, positive karma happens when there's like something negative coming at you, right? It's like, that's your negative karma coming back at you, right? Something that you're not comfortable with, something that is like hurting you, stuff like that. It's like, we all have negative karma, we all have positive karma. So you have this like negative karma, which we call like the seeds of karma are burning off. So I've had to learn to say thank you that those things are like happening, and then not react, because when I react, then that karma still keeps happening. When that seed of karma burns off, like, let it be done. and I didn't know that back then. And I still get caught up in it now. But so a lot of my job on this planet is just to like kind of keep my mouth shut, right? Like, mind my own business, move forward, whatever. But I don't know. I am somebody who keeps trying to hide, to like stay in the woodwork, and it's hard to stay in the woodwork when it's all like flat like that. Spirit keeps trying to put me out in the middle, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. You got the wrong guy. And like, yeah, we don't really care. This is like your path. This is what it is that we're doing, and this is what you're gonna do. And like, I've like fought and fought and fought, and it's what I call like going through the maze. And there's this argument that happens. It's like, I get this message, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, and I'm like, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then the argument stops, and I think that I win, and then I come face to face with what it is that Spirit wants me to do anyway. So it's better to just kind of give in, follow direction, do what do what Spirit is telling you to do. And, you know, part of that is making sure about who it is that you're listening to as well. Right? It's like just because you get a thought in your head does not necessarily mean that that is like that is, it doesn't mean that it is like Spirit guiding you. It doesn't mean that it's like Jesus. It doesn't mean that it's God. Um, it's important to pay attention. It's important to meditate with these things, not just like go off like half cocked about it. And because I've seen a lot of people do that and thinking that like Jesus is talking to them, and it's not. And so, it's not my job to, you know, grab people by the arm and pull them back from the fire. But, you know, I can show up and I can like teach people that want to be taught um, how to meditate and how to practice restraint and stuff, because it's not easy. But the more I meditate and the more I um, like I've had to do a lot of like mantras and stuff like that. Like I do identify as a witch, but I've also been involved with like Buddhism and stuff like that, and a lot of different paths, shamanism, stuff like that, and like Spirit has led me in different paths to learn different things because I wasn't getting everything in one place, so I've had to go different places and learn different things, and so it's like I learned how to process a lot of my anger through like Buddhism, and because it wasn't really happening with like other places, at least not the way that I needed it to be. So like I've had to practice like mantras and stuff like that. Practicing I have I have notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks about just like journaling things, and because for me it's like I have to get things out, and it's like I could go out and like burn the world, right, and then end up in jail or dead. um but I've had to find like healthier ways of getting things out. So um so what do they call them? Affirmations, right? I've had to like I've written like page after page after page of like positive affirmations about things, trying to like it's been important for me to retrain the way that I think, um, thinking more positively instead of thinking things like negatively, and so doing positive affirmations like that has led me on a stronger, healthier path, and like to clear my energy and stuff like that, and doing a lot of like meditation. And if I had my way, I would be doing meditation like every single day. And which it's really it's coming to a head in a lot of different ways. Um, I've been getting this message lately about giving up TV. I'm like, really? Like, not really what I want to be doing. TV has been my escape since I was a child. Anybody can tell you that knows me. And but television is a distraction, and it's something that can be an addiction. And like when I was growing up, we had 459, and they didn't really have to be, um, cable subscription and stuff like that. We didn't have Netflix. We didn't have all of that stuff, and so but now there's all this like streaming stuff going on and whatever, and like things require subscriptions and everything like that. So I could really make better use of like my money, by giving up the TV and doing other things. you know like I've been in the process of making making chords, um, magical chords what they're called. And let me just like show you real quick. This one here. This one isn't done, but um, this one is like for money. Um, it's a cord. It has different stones on it, stuff like that, and hang it up where you're working, so that wherever you're making money, and it will help you to manifest. It'll help you to manifest your financial goals, whatever any of that is going to be about. So I've been making these to sell, and like money cords, protection cords, healing cords, stuff like that. And the different combinations that I use can help you to heal like subconsciously, and to help like guide you in a better direction and stuff like that. And so things like that. And for healing or protect you, and sometimes even protect you from yourself, because it's not just the world out there that's out to get us, right? And it's not really the world that is out to get us, but um, if you operate in the world as an empath, then which I do, I mean, there's a lot of energy out there that is coming at people these days, and because it's like chaotic, because everything, like we're going through all these changes and everything like that, and so it's like there's a lot of people out there that are struggling about where they're going and what they're doing, everything like that, and it's like, you know, but I think that a lot of it has to do with um, there's a lot of stuff that is happening like astrologically, like there's a lot of planets in Aquarius right now, and so which that's all about like the age of Aquarius, which you can Google all of that. In December, Jupiter and Saturn aligned, and so that's all about like structure. Everything has a structure, so the structure of everything is like happening, but it's also Jupiter, which is about luck, which is also about expansion. So it's about thinking bigger. It's about move, like I think of Jupiter as things about moving forward, kind of getting off of the merry-go-round kind of a situation and stuff like that. And which like the in the tarot deck, the Wheel of Fortune is related to, it's ruled by Jupiter. So it's all about like, things going round and round, but like when you look at the Wheel of Fortune, it can be a merry-go-round, it can be, it can be a lot of stuff like that. So, it's like, it's a lot about like kind of getting out of karma, getting unstuck out of a rut, all of those things. So, there's all these things that are trying to happen for us right now, but we have to lift ourselves out of the muck and the mire, as I call it. And in order to do that, we have to, like, the whole vibration of the planet is being lifted. And so we have to rise ourselves up above that, right? Because there's a lot of people who are not trying to move themselves forward, like spiritually, psychically, or anything like that. They're just trying to like, nose to the grindstone. I don't want to deal. I'm just doing me, and like, like their world is very small, and so it can be stuck, right? And but it's really important to like think bigger, to like one of the things about Aquarius is that it is about like helping people, but like helping people globally, right? And not just, it's not just about like helping one person on the street. It's not just about little things like that. It's about like a lot of bigger things that are trying to happen around here. And so you know that's just like what my job is about these days, is about trying to help people to be able to do all that. So Anyway, that's kind of like what it is that I'm going to be doing like for today. And so I just wanted to thank everybody for watching and thank you for being here. And I do want to say that everybody has a place on the planet and everybody is important. And everybody is either here to learn a lesson, to teach a lesson, and usually it's like both. So I understand that it can be difficult being in our skin these days and difficult being on the planet, but I can just tell you to keep showing up and doing the best that you can on any given day. And one of the things I've had to learn is like how to get out of my own way, and and that is really like a huge lesson. Like getting out of my own way and being able to help other people and not getting stuck in my own stuff. So because the muck and the mire, it can keep you stuck. It's like I see it as like this. I don't know. I kind of think of it like when you're like smoking and there's like tar and nicotine on the windows, all that yellow stuff and whatever. And it's like I kind of think of it like a lot of stuff like that and like this like sticky gross stuff. And so it's like it can be difficult to move in that. So it's like if we raise our vibration, then we'll be able to move forward because it's really about going up. Um, it's like we can think that it's doing this, but it's like that's only because if you're looking only like about like 6 weeks or 6 months down the road, but it's really like if you look at a bigger picture, it goes up like this. So it's going to go up. So you know, continue to raise your vibration, continue to practice being good to you, continue to practice being healthy. It's all about practice, right? Like Spirit told me once before, it's like be practice patience while you're practicing patience. So, um, so that's what I do. And I'm just practicing patience while I'm practicing patience with myself and with other people. And I know it's rough being in this whole like COVID, pandemic thing, being stuck in the house, whatever. But I do think that if we are practicing healing ourselves every day, and that helps, and because if we practice helping ourselves and healing ourselves, then our vibration gets bigger, and that helps the people that are next to us, and be honest, and then it becomes a whole collective, and so that helps, it's going to help to heal the world. So like you know things will happen in due time, trust me on that. um anyway, good luck with all of that, and thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I was going to say I love you all. It's a message from Spirit. um because my guides and the Spirit in general, like, they are grateful that you are here, because even though they are passed over, and they don't have to be in this life, they still have to be able to help other people. That is still their karma, to be able to like help other people to rise up. And so that's what it's all about. There's an expression called each one teach one, right? So it's like they're trying to help the planet with all of their sadness and disappointment and the depression of the world and stuff like that. Like they're literally showing me all of these people that are like so depressed and so stuck and so not knowing what to do with their lives and things like that. And it's like, so their job is all about like shining their light and making their light bigger and helping more people. And they do that through me. And like I do that like through you. The more people I help, the more you help other people. So it is very much about like a domino effect. So we spirit we're all about trying to forgive people, and because we've all been hurt in one way or the other. So just know that it's like, you know, none of us are guilt free. We have all hurt people and we have all been hurt. So whether it's in this lifetime or other lifetimes, so um, we have to be able to understand that, and we have to be able to forgive others because we also want to be forgiven. And it's like it's difficult for us to be forgiven if we cannot forgive other people too. So like we really have to work on letting these walls down in order to allow other people in order, because we really require other people to love us, because that's how we're going to heal. And if we keep the wall up, walls are not just there to keep other people out, walls keep us in. So we're really all about like kind of dropping the walls and letting things go, because the walls are also like very like heavy. They lower our vibration. So if we can let go of the walls, then that also allows us to like raise our vibration and become more, we really want to say more spiritual. um you can call that more godlike, you can call that more like creator, but it allows you also to be more creative in your life too. So there's a lot of stuff like that that is trying to happen around here. As we're raising our vibration, we're able to create the life that we really want to have, because really nobody really wants to be stuck in the muck and the mire. Nobody really wants to live in poverty. Nobody really wants to, live alone, live a life of being alone, and spirit calls it very like a very unfortunate life. So the more we raise the vibration and like clear our vibration and have it be much more light, then we're able to create more positive things. And when we're creating these positive things, we don't just create positive things for ourselves. When we're creating positivity, when we're creating these things, it's like we're creating more light for like other people too. Because when you create something from a place of love, that thing that you create, whether it's one of these chords, whether it doesn't matter if it's a birdhouse, if it's created with like love and with the spirit in mind, then trying to help another person, then when you put that out into the world, that is a thing that has like love and beauty and healing vibration connected to it. And so when somebody sees that, they become aware of that, and that fills them with love and light, and it helps them to heal whether they're aware of it or not. So it helps to change people. So that is what we are trying to do today, is to put things out into the world that are about healing, that are about love, that are about just really about, when we say love, that has so much more of a bigger impact than anybody could really even like imagine. Because love comes from it's like true love, like unconditional, like that kind of love comes from such a huge place. If you could see it the way that I see it, it's like that kind of love is blinding white light. And we really are all about like trying to reach that particular place. And that is what we want for everybody on this planet. And that's what we really want for everybody who's in spirit too, because not everybody in spirit is in a good place. So there are entities, spirits, souls, whatever you want to call them. There are those energies also that are in a stuck place too. So when we're sending out these things and we're praying for those people as well, like we pray for the whole planet and we pray for like everybody, because even those that are stuck in spirit, you can call it purgatory, you can call it hell, you can call it whatever it is you want to call it, but there are these like entities that are stuck, that require healing, that require love. And so it's still important that we pray for all of these people and send out these energies about like positivity and love and healing vibration to like everywhere, on every level, not just on a human level, but to all different levels, all different dimensions, everywhere. So when we're led to pray and do healing for the planet, this is how we're being led to pray, and this is how we're led to like help healing, is to pray for everybody in every dimension, in every lifetime. So it's something that really helps us to be able to be free for ourselves, but help other people to be free as well, no matter where they are on the planet. So we hope that everybody is like safe. We hope that everybody remains blessed. And just know that you are blessed. It's up to you whether you receive that blessing or not. So thank you.